Hey you guys, this is the Kaizen Man welcoming you to the Kaizen Project. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to prepare your soil for winter. A couple of things you're going to need for that. This is a little rake just to even out the soil. I have some sawdust in here, which I picked up from when I chopped up that wood, and a nice big shovel. So pretty much what I'm looking to do is, there's still a couple of plants in here, so I'm going to leave them. But this rest of this space here, which I've already ripped the plants out from, I'm going to prepare this soil for winter. You want to make sure that your soil is nice and loose, because if you live in a place where there's frost, there's snow, the soil will get super compacted, and next year it'll be much harder for you to plant stuff in. So you want to break that soil up now. You can leave the roots and stuff in there because that's all going to decay. It's going to, provide good carbon for the soil. And then so I'm pretty much doing that. I've done half of it already, and I'm going to continue doing that. So before I finish it, I'm going to sprinkle in some sawdust and then use the rake to get that nice and mixed up in there. All right, so here we go. So now, this bit of soil here, as you can see, I've loosened it up. I'm going to go ahead and add in this sawdust. Just sprinkle it in there. And the sawdust has a couple of purposes. One, it breaks down the soil, and it will provide nutrients. It will give you more organic matter in the soil for next season. The other thing that the mulch or sawdust does is it's like a blanket for your soil. So over winter, it helps to just insulate your soil a little bit. You can totally use mulch. I happen to have some sawdust. Just sprinkling it over, nothing too crazy. And once that's in there, grabbing hold of this guy, just turning the soil over, making sure it's nice and level. Breaking up any of the bigger chunks that might have been left in there. So as you saw, when I'm using the shovel and turning the soil, pulling it over, what I then also do is use the shovel to break up those bigger bits. So as you're going along, you want to do that, and then once you get to this phase, you can use the rake to not only even out the sand, but also break down any of the bigger bits that might be left over. That's it. So again, the reason why you want to prep your soil for winter is before the frost really sets in. You want to make sure your soil is protected from the winter, and that you do by adding, or protect from the cold, and you do that by adding some sawdust. You also protect it from compacting down with snow and rain, and you do that by turning it over. But before you get to this stage, you have to obviously pull up any of the plant matter. As I mentioned, you do see there's a couple of plants in here, and we just haven't decided to pull those out as yet, but everything else that was planted here has been pulled out, and I'm just clearing that area which we no longer are using. The job is not over until you clean and put away the tools. So I like to make sure that whatever soil, whatever dirt, anything, plant matter, roots, that kind of stuff that can and will get stuck on the rake after you've done this job, is before you put it away, just make sure it's nice and clean. And you can use any kind of outdoor friendly broom, it doesn't have to be anything special. So this looks pretty good to me here. It can be as perfect as if you want it to be, but I think it's just good practice that whatever tools you're using. And when you put them away, try to make them as clean as possible. And I think that way the tools just last us longer. And the next time that you need that tool, there's a much higher likelihood that it's going to be in working order, and that's not going to be broken or rusted off or anything like that. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, this is Kaizen Man signing out.